Okie doke. So welcome everyone from wherever you are around the world at the moment. I am in sunny Queensland, Australia. And so it's a good afternoon from me, or good evening or good morning from wherever you are. My name is Julie Watts. I am a triple diamond with this amazing company, ASEA. I have been with ASEA now for about 5.5 years. It has absolutely, totally changed my life and also my lifestyle. And you are really in for a treat today to hear from these two gentlemen that I'm here to introduce. So we have 3 sections of our webinar today. And the first one, Steve is going to give you some information about the Redox breakthrough. And then we have a very powerful testimonial from the fabulous Dan Doyle. And then at the end, we're going to have a little bit about the business opportunity, again, with Stevie. And then, of course, if we have some time after that, we might have some time for Q&A. But please, no medical questions at the end. This isn't the place that we can answer those questions. So it is my pleasure to introduce Stevie to you. So Stevie and Sarah are platinum executives with ASEA. They are very, very busy. They homeschool 4 boys and they now live on the Gold Coast in sunny Queensland up here near me. And they did come from down in New South Wales. And they are very, very, very passionate, well-known and loved ASEA leaders. Very, very much so. And they are truly committed to ASEA's mission statement, which is, you know, to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. And they really are doing that. 5.5 years ago, they made the best decision of their life. And of course, that was to join us in ASEA. So please welcome Stevie Aquilina.
Hey, thank you very much, Julie Watts. Julie Million Watts. I should be introducing you because you're a tremendous, awesome leader. And so thank you for the very kind introduction. And I want to try and speed this up so that we can not only hear from our guests, but we can hear from you too, because you are a phenomenal global and very loved leader in this organization too. And thank you very much for giving me credit for being so busy for homeschooling the kids, but I have to give that all to Sarah.
Yes, I'm sure she helps a lot.
Yeah, most of it. She's amazing. But she lets me out to play with you and all of the great people on the call here, you know, and do and share the ASEA thing, which is incredibly important. So I'm really, really excited to be here with you all and share it with you. It was almost 6 years ago that this information was first handed to me. And it's been a high priority almost from that first moment to bring it to everybody's attention. The level of importance of this information is incredibly high because the level of impact and difference that it's making in people's lives is significantly deep, changing, bettering, and giving people their lives back. And hopefully I'll be able to transfer some of that accurately and clearly to you today. And I'm sure you'll be able to feel, you know, how heartwarming this is to be able to save family members and loved ones and friends, like you're going to hear from my best mate in a little while if I just hurry up and do my part. So let's jump into it. All right. What I'll be sharing with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical doctors say that it is an incredibly big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. This is an exciting and entirely new frontier in science that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. It's a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world authority laboratory medical studies, a very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of. Listen, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down. I don't think they wanted you to know about it. More about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's get absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. This is not a drug, vitamin, minerals, or antioxidant formula. It's also not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, lace lights, smoothie, magical 5,000 euro tree, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of all of that other stuff out there. what we'll be talking about here instead is an entirely new frontier in science. And let me tell you, this goes way beyond nutrition. In fact, this goes way beyond any type of ingredients you already know about, because this is a truly not just groundbreaking, but category creating healthcare breakthrough. ASEA Redox cell signaling technology contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they are native to your body. They're made by your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messengers for your cells that affect cell signaling, cell-to-cell communication, all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate tissue and maintain health by allowing your cells to be able to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, and detect and replace damaged cells. So basically, redox signaling empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and therefore your body functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this so important? Because we are all made all of cells. Therefore, we live and die at the cellular level. Very, very important. They're the keys to life. Redox signaling molecules are essential for the function of our normal physiology. All biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. I mean critically. Listen, critically, because if all of our cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, we wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, life ends. When we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, can run around all day and not wake up sore the next, and how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our bodies, our cells break down, and our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, cell instructions, our whole cellular protection and healing process that we just discussed becomes slow and sluggish. So as such, our cells break down even more, our bodies break down even more, so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously, and so they don't do any of the scientific studies all themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing those outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Now, we're in a field of very serious science. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998, for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, National Library of Medicine, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see there are well over 33,000 results. And this slide is already out of date because there are more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. It's very difficult to keep up with. There are well over now 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling molecules. And so, according to medical researchers, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. I'll give you some examples. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead of the entire world. ASEA Redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translate to health at its most foundational level. And here's an example of that. ASEA Redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, there's more. These genes are key in the health of every individual, play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in these dozens of additional genetic pathways. On top of that, ASEA Redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Head professors of that university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they call disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to when it was younger and or healthier. So if you have health challenges, or if you have loved ones that you care for who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But rather than just taking my word for it, let's hear from some medical doctors right now and what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body, The body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, which can be tricky to see, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of redox signaling technology. They are Renew 28 Revitalizing Redox Gel and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. Supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, they are Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture speaks 1,000 words. So let's let some of these pictures speak to you now. As you see more than anti-aging results, in many regards, you're going to see age-reversing results. You're going to see lines and wrinkles being ironed out, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations and irritations and all sorts of aggravations and other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated, being replenished, being renewed. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are coming back to the proper surfaces of the skin. All of these pictures are of the same person, Rosie. And even though you are probably able to see dramatic differences, Rosie didn't, because she didn't take these pictures. And so she missed the moment by moment, day by day, week by week changes that were happening. And when she went back to her doctor to say this stuff doesn't work, doctor pulled out the photos and voila. So moral of this story, number one, is take photos. When you get back to your family member or friend that introduced you here and get on to see her and you naturally want to see how it goes, that's how you see how it goes. Take photos. What you can't see, keep a written record of. Person introduced you will help you with that. There's another moral to this story. People do notice results very quickly, like Rosie, 7 weeks. Many other people in 7 days. Out of every 10 people I see, at least 8 to 10 of those people will notice a result in or around 7 minutes. However, other people need to apply more product, more time and more patience, especially when there is more going on with their health that they need to work upon. So what we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are redox signaling molecules. They're the same in you as they are in me, as they are in animals, as they are in plants. They're all precisely the same. And the exact precise same redox signaling molecules are also in our bottles of ASEA and Renew 28. And so it would be scientifically impossible, and this has been tested, for redox to not work in you. Works in every single person every single time. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, talking about noticing the change, see if you can spot the difference here. Because this doctor decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. So here we go. Tell me what the difference is. Maybe punch it into the chat box. I'll give you some clues. Lines running down either side of the corner of the mouth. Can you tell yet which side he used the Renew 28 on, which side he did not? What about the lines running down either side of the nose? What about the cheeks? Do you notice any definition differences in the lines, wrinkles, maybe the bagginess or bunchiness of the skin? What side do you think he did use the Renew 28 on? How about this biggest clue of all? What about the side of the face those glasses seem to be slanting towards? And I don't know, maybe that's suggesting more droopiness on one side of the face opposed to the other. So if you guessed it, on the left or his right, congratulations. And I thank Dr. Marty Moran for walking around like a weirdo for 28 days just to prove how effective Renew 28 is where you put it versus where you don't. Now, not just for your face, arms, hands, bellies. This is a picture of a belly. It's one person, friend of mine, 3 kids. And also bums, buttocks, gluteus maximuses. These are pictures from a study performed by a very renowned and world-leading laboratory. This scientific organization did this study because there were many reports coming in from all around the world that people were seeing their cellulite disappear, and they were attributing it to the time that they'd been using Renew 28. And so these scientists set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see if there was any truth to these stories. And what they found was, after 12 weeks, there was in fact a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. So the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover why this was happening. And what they saw was that the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved post the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture and smoothing the skin, supporting skin cell renewal for not just visibly younger looking skin, but actual healthier skin. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after such things as shaving, sun exposure, etc., etc., etc. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It also helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now, you can know if ASEA works in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, neck, shoulder, elbow, hand, fingers, back, hip, knees, ankles, anywhere, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on that point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes, and usually 9 to 10 out of 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Now, nothing that I've said here today is meant to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. I'd like to hand it back to you very quickly, Julie, and introduce a very special testimonial we have today.
No worries. Thank you so much, Stevie. I love your presentation on ASEA and Redox. It's a really good presentation and a wonderful explanation of our science. It's great. So yes, guys, we do have somebody very special on today. His name is Dan Doyle, and he has been a friend of mine for a while. And the last time I saw Dan prior to ASEA, he was actually traveling around Australia in a bus with his wife, trying to share some time together because they apparently didn't have much left. And he'll tell you all about that because sometimes life throws you a curveball, and that's exactly what happened to Dan. Prior to that, Dan has built and sold many businesses. He really understands business. And now ASEA has not only changed his life in that way, but it has also changed his lifestyle. They have a wonderful life now because of ASEA for many reasons, and they live in Hawaii. Dan and Suzanne, his wife, they live in Hawaii, which they can live wherever they want. They can do whatever they please, and they can live wherever they want. And what they do choose to do is to share ASEA with the world. And Dan is amazing at that. He gives up his time constantly to do that. And he has built one of the biggest ASEA businesses in the world. And it's absolutely my pleasure to introduce him to you. He is an Ambassador Triple Diamond with ASEA, which, if you don't know what that is, it is a very, 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 very high rank. So let's hear from Dan.
Thanks, Julie. Wow, I was getting a little bit emotional then. Goodness me, maybe being such a special week. I'm trying to hold back the tears. Just thinking about everything we've been through for all these years and where it actually started. Thanks for being on with us. And Stevie, really appreciate the presentation. You know, I still pinch myself every single day knowing what we know. And for anybody who's a guest on this call, just sit back and relax. I mean, we're not here to sell you anything or convince you of anything. Something that really irks me in life is when people make decisions when they're not informed. And that's all we're here to do, is to inform you to be able to make a decision. Now, what's that decision? We've got an incredible breakthrough that can help people with their health. Stevie's going to talk about an incredible business opportunity behind the health breakthrough. So, you know, we're going to inform you because somebody's handed you a gift. You've got that gift in your hand, and it's up to you whether you open that gift or not. But I'm sure once we inform you, you'll either give the gift back and say, I don't want it, or maybe open it, take a peek, and do something with it. So I'm going to go into my story. And before I do that, I'm just going to reiterate the company's disclaimer that these products aren't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. I've got a very, very powerful story. I'm one of many. It's not the best story around. There's so many more. As a matter of fact, we got an incredible Facebook page. If you want to be invited to that, we all need to connect or get in touch with somebody who has asked you to come onto this call, and they can link you to that page where there's tens of thousands of testimonials and how this can help people. So, as Stevie said, we have the biggest breakthrough in health, and the powerful thing about what we have is what you've experienced in the past cannot come close to what these molecules do for the body. You'll hear my story where I go through how I took a lot of nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from a lot of different companies trying to help myself with my health, but nothing worked until I introduced the missing piece to the puzzle, which is foundational, these redox signaling molecules. So I did grow up in Sydney, Australia, before I go to my first photo, and don't be shocked. And just to let you know, it's a picture of me half naked doing bodybuilding, because I did grow up in Sydney playing a lot of sports, which was a distraction from going to school. I didn't like school. It really irked me. Probably recognized something about the school system that just wasn't right. My parents were working hard. They'd been through school, and they didn't really get to where they wanted to go in life or financially. Mind you, working multiple jobs, did an incredible job of bringing up us three kids. So, ladies, don't get too excited. I don't look like this anymore. This is a picture of me when I was 24 years old, after playing rugby, doing judo, gymnastics, surfing, aerobics. Just love sports. And at this stage of my life, I was a young entrepreneur. Just a few years before this photo, the age 21, I left one of the big four banks in Australia in the corporate arena. And I know that sounds weird and funny, I'm 21 years old, but I went out on my own. I recognized I didn't want to work for anybody anymore. So this was the start of being a young entrepreneur in the health and fitness industry. Now, over the next 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses from all different industries. I had a pub, multiple security companies, excavation, construction, data storage, you name it, I did it. And I employed about 3,500 people over that 20-year period. So let's fast forward that 20 years to coming to the end of my entrepreneurial days. And the reason for that is not too long after this photo, and this is just to go and show you that I still looked after my health at the age 44, 20 years after that last photo, going to the gym every morning, doing cardiovascular work. But even though I kept fit and healthy, there was this horrendous weed killer called Roundup that got into my system from flipping properties in Australia. And in 2011, 6 months after this photo, I was given some very bad news. This is a photo of me on the right. It's the start of 2.5 years of hospital visits, and what I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, losing my hair from the top of my head to my toes. It was a horrendous time, putting on a very fake smile on my face here, because I was with a hero of mine, 21-year-old Johnny Manor, who played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He'd been through what they would consider or call the good one, and I was going through 2 of the bad ones. Anyway, Johnny was in remission here. After this photo was taken, his came back, and unfortunately he went back into hospital and he never came out. He was going through the same things that I was going through at the start of this photo, and at the age of 23 years old, we lost him. So what we had was very, very serious at the time. Now, I was somebody who only believed in traditional medicine. So for me to flick the switch was going to be pretty tough, a pretty hard thing to do. For me, my mindset to move into anything outside of traditional had to take something major to happen in my life. And at the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. That was the switch that was flicked at that time. I went to what I would have never gone to, alternative, functional, naturopaths. I did a lot of research. Research led to an alkaline diet, became a pescatarian, fish, vegetables, salad. Spent a lot of money on nutritional products, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from companies that were in this industry, network marketing, Zango, Isogenics, Protandem from LifeVantage, Kangen Water, a lot of different products. Now you would think on all those good products and an alkaline diet that my body would have been heading in the right direction, but this is a photo 2 years doing that. Yeah, it's not good, not good. And what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was going on the inside. This is 2014, nothing worked. Blood work, still heading in the wrong direction, feeling terrible, looking terrible. Got a phone call from a friend of mine. End of 2014, exactly at this time, he said, I think I found something that can help. Flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, which was a weird experience because I was very geographically challenged back then. And I thought that California was a city in the state of Los Angeles. Anyway, that's another story. 40 countries later, and so many countries we've been to around the world in the last few years. I know where everything is on the planet now. Flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, which I didn't know where it was, and met Bart Cotter, a friend of mine, in the headquarters of the company called ASEA, this cellular health company. Started on these redox signaling molecules. Long story short, 3 hours detoxing so quick, so fast, toxins coming out of my skin with little red spots all over my upper torso. Next morning, 20-year caffeine intolerance, any more than 2 coffees, buckled over, bloating, discomfort all day. 6 coffees later, nothing to remind me of what I endured for 20 years with that issue. It had gone overnight. The light bulb went on the next day. I had so much lung damage from what they did to me in that hospital. I was having trouble breathing and talking at the same time. The next day, we're talking about 48 to 72 hours on this product, my lungs were functioning perfect. I went back to Australia, kept drinking the product. 12 months after this photo, end of 2015, the doctors give me some very good news. This is a photo on that day. They tell me there's no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports, neck problems, shoulder, hand, back, hips, pelvis, everything that was literally debilitating and annoying me on a daily basis from the time I tried to climb out of bed, from the time I got back into bed. My 44, 45, 46-year-old body at that time, it was like an 89, totally destroyed from playing sports. And I had 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. But by the time this photo was taken, my whole body was rebuilt top to bottom. That was my journey back to health. Fast forward, 3 years on the product. You can see I'm looking younger. I was definitely feeling younger. I always like to go back here and show these photos. 2014, what you're seeing is a reflection of what was going on the inside. Next year, 1 year later, 2015, what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was going on the inside of that time. 3 years on the product, what you're seeing here is a reflection of my complexion, what was going on the inside at that time. So that was my journey back to health, journey back to looking younger and feeling younger. After 5 months, I started sharing this with people. The biggest regret that anybody has with being involved in this company, taking the product, or even building the business is not talking to people from day one. So for 5 months not doing that, I just wonder, and I still think back, 5.5, 6 years ago, how many people's lives did I affect in a negative way from not sharing this with anybody? So the science is validated. It's scientifically impossible for this product not to work. I started sharing it with people. The business model saved my life. It gave me the ability to help other people, gave me the ability to earn thank you checks for doing so. And those thank you checks I invested back into my health. I bought more product, saturated my body instead of putting out the fire with a little garden hose. I brought in the fire brigade and we saturated my body with these molecules, got it to the damage, and my body signaled itself to heal. This has been the most amazing journey in my life. From what I know today, from coming from corporate jobs, from coming from running my own businesses for so many years, I would never go back to traditional business or corporate work, ever. I mean, this company, ASEA, with ticking every single box, with the owners coming from Fortune 50 companies, the Norton family who own this company, majority share, who started this business, they ran Fortune 50 companies. Virtus Norton ran a $46 billion division of Kraft Foods. Number 2, head of strategy. We have got the best strategic minds on the planet running this company. Put that together with the executive team, the field leaders, all that experience. You're hearing from Stevie and two incredible leaders, Julie, today. Compensation plan, the most generous and lucrative in the industry, with this ethos that we run this company by, Tyler Norton came up with this incredible ethos, the owner of this company. We lead with that. It's all about principles and purpose, not ego and economics, helping people to help people. That's what we do. We help people, everything else is going to happen. That's what I did. That's what I've been doing for 5.5 years now. This is the most compelling opportunity that you will come across in your lifetime. In 12 months, we went from zero, couldn't scratch ourselves because we couldn't afford to traveling the world and doing whatever we wanted. We got to number 3 in the world in 3 years. I sit on the Global Advisory Council. It's been an amazing journey and ride for me. And I'm so happy to be working with these leaders and some other people on the call. As I said, we're not here to convince you guys of anything, but I hope it's fantastic that you've had an open enough mind to come on this call, that you can join us on this journey and we can help you as we are to leave your legacy to humanity and to the world as well. And with that, I'll hand back to Stevie and he'll touch on the business opportunity and how big this is. Thanks, Stevie.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate you. So let me show you folks how you can join us. Now, you could just become a customer. That's fine. If you want to live healthier, younger, longer, great. And, I'm eternally grateful to Dan. That's actually one of the things that he helped me with when he called. He didn't know this, but when he called me, he just cared enough to call and let me know what this stuff was and what was going on with him. He didn't know that 2 of my loved ones were going through very severe health challenges, not just concerns on their health, but that put concerns on their life. And so living healthier, younger, longer, for some people, it's a nice thought. For other people, it's a prayer. So you never know who you're going to help by just having a caring heart like Dan did and picking up the phone. Thank you, mate. And there's another very significant way that you can rally with us. And that is because with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And so there's a very big opportunity running behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. Now, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for 2 very simple reasons. Number 1, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. But not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, it can't be, because there's no way to look into a bottle and reverse engineer ASEA, because there are actually trade secrets in making ASEA. So it's not allowed to be copied and it can't be copied. It's virtually impossible. And that means we have no copycats. That means we will have no copycats. And that means no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does, none of them, because nobody else has redox. And redox works in everybody. Nothing in the body works at all. Or nothing works as well or at all without redox. So even if you're already coming to us as a big fan of your nutritional products, guess what? They only work in the body as well in direct proportion as you have redox signaling molecules in your body telling your cells how to work with that nutrition. Redox can't hurt anybody. Can't. Everybody needs it. Scientifically, everyone needs it. You need it just to be alive. And ASEA holds, therefore, massive opportunities across all health science sectors. They're, healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And ASEA serves all of them at a depth and level, because it gets to a level of achievement in the human body like nothing else can. And ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a Redox supplement from. ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people. We can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help get the word out there, to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn commissions, money, just by sharing Redox with others. You receive a residual income. That's the kind of income that comes in and again and again and again from work you just did once. And you receive that income not just from the first purchase, but also from every single ongoing lifelong purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And you can refer as many people as you like. You can introduce as many as you like. And on top of all of that, you also receive a residual income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer. That's leveraged income now, residual and leveraged. So just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, or whatever, people naturally tell people who naturally tell other people who then tell even more people. It's called word of mouth marketing. And it's not just the most ancient, but still today, #1 most powerful and #1 most effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening up new markets almost every single year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. So for people who are looking for an extra or part-time or full-time or big-time or legacy leaving income for loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. ASEA helps you create income that is both residual, paid repeatedly by every repeated purchase of ASEA products, and leveraged by coming together with others, working together, leveraging the efforts of each other. You can build teams of people purchasing and referring more and more people again and again, nationally and internationally. Now let's talk about why this is such a powerful and important income. Do you have any idea what happens to every 100 people by the time they're 65? Well, these are Australian stats, and in Australia, 1% are wealthy, 3% are financially secure, 7% must still work to survive at age 65, and 74% are dependent on welfare. So what is the one main financial principle that the top 4% have figured out that the other 81% haven't? It's how to make money that is no longer dependent on their paid by the hour job or own activity, otherwise known as active income. Jobs aren't bad. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, and maybe more today than ever before, we have realized that only relying on a single source of active income is not smart and dangerous to our financial security. So for people who are switched on, smart, business-minded, for people who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing when it comes their way, who have maybe been affected by today's last 6 months global pandemic in a way that they never, ever envisioned that they would be affected. So for people who decide to take control of their finances, this is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the growth of this global expansion. Very significant, very significant. But here's what is most significant of all. There's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. Who we become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world and have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, a really great lifestyle. In fact, I think that's maybe, if not the first place, at least one of the first places I met Julie, who's on the call with us right now, Julie Watts. But really at the end of the day, It's the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. That's important. So why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And you know what? Maybe you are, because there are now hundreds of doctors all around the world now recommending Redox to their patients because they're seeing unprecedented results. But the truth is that after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies did offer to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, the big drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down, and they wanted everyone taken off Redox. Can you believe that? But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son Tyler Norton, had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in that deal. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, to experiencing life-changing power from Redox. When they saw that, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. Because they didn't have the heart to take it off people, they said no to the payout and yes to people. You see, what it started as a big business player now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route, the health route, rather than the drug route, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's first and foremost most guiding principles was demonstrated here in this decision, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. And you can see that demonstrated in every single decision that they make. In every single step they take, this is first and foremost in their minds, because it resides sincerely in their hearts, that at the end of the day, it's people that matter most. Now, these founders of ASEA and their corporate teams come from very impressive backgrounds, Fortune 50 backgrounds. They are exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, famous, household name companies. But their corporate soul is also what makes them unique and truly first class. You are in very good hands. So we're going to have a moment to hear from you and answer any questions that you may have. But what I'd really invite you to do is get back with the person who shared this with you. Don't worry about what the time is in your neck of the woods. They'll be glad to hear from you. Let them know what you've seen here. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers. There's plenty of university studies, but most importantly, hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to see ASEA is the real deal. So do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want to have a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Start by doing it with just one person, and that person is you. And then, if you'll also just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. And your life will become better in many, many ways. Believe me, become part of this Redox reality, and you can become more. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well. And thank you very much, Julie Watts, for looking after us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for that. So guys, we've probably got a few minutes for some questions, and we'd really, really like to hear from some new people. I know we have some people that are on all the time, but it'd be lovely to get some questions off a couple of new guys that are here today. You've got some people that can answer some questions for you. So you can they unmute